Did you know that more than 1 in 4 adults over 65 fall each year? But here's what the statistics don't tell you. The real reason you're losing your balance isn't weak muscles or old age. It's a breakdown in a conversation, a three-way conversation between your eyes, your ears, and your feet. And when that conversation stops, your brain goes silent. I'm going to show you exactly how to restart that conversation using 7 simple foods you probably already have in your kitchen. But fair warning, the one fix is going to surprise you. Keep watching, because this is the most important information you'll hear all year. So, let's talk about what's really happening. When you see a senior who is hunched over, walking slowly, shuffling their feet, most people chalk it up to old age. They look at their parents or their spouse and think, well, you're 75, what do you expect? But I want you to think about this. Your balance isn't a single thing, it's a conversation. It's a 3-part conversation between your eyes, your inner ear, and the nerves in your feet. Your eyes tell your brain where you are in space. Your inner ear, that little vestibular system, tells you about gravity and movement. And those tiny nerves in the soles of your feet send a message about the texture of the ground, the pressure on your heels, the shift in your weight. Over time, these systems start to degrade. But here's the real kicker, the root cause that no one talks about. It's not just the degradation of the parts, it's the loss of the conversation. The pathways in your brain that connect these 3 systems start to get rusty. They become less efficient. You don't see it, you don't feel it, but every time you sit on the couch for hours, you're telling your brain, we don't need to talk anymore. And then, when you stand up, the brain is confused. The eyes say one thing, the feet say another, the ears say a third. The signal is jumbled, and that jumbled signal is the feeling of being off balance. The standard approach for this is a cane, a walker, or physical therapy. And those are all great tools, but they are tools that help you manage the symptom. They don't fix the conversation. They don't give your brain new pathways to communicate. Before we get into what we can do about this, I want to ask you a quick favor. Drop a comment below and tell me where you're from. I love seeing where all of you are watching from. And of course, a quick disclaimer. I'm your health instructor. This advice is based on nutritional science and natural remedies, but it is not a substitute for professional medical care. Always consult with your personal physician before making any changes to your diet or lifestyle. This is for informational purposes only. Now, let's get to the good stuff. If you want to rebuild that conversation between your body and your brain, you don't need a pharmacy. You need specific nutrients. Specific compounds that target the nerves and the brain cells responsible for this connection. Here are the 7 most powerful fixes for balance, starting with a surprising number 7. Number 7, water. You're likely thinking, water? That's too simple, but let me explain. Your inner ear is filled with a fluid called endolymph. This fluid is what tells your brain about motion. It relies on a precise balance of sodium and potassium. When you are even slightly dehydrated, the viscosity of that fluid changes. It gets thicker. The signals it sends are slower and muddier. This targets dehydration-induced vertigo and lightheadedness. The active compound is H2O, pure, simple hydration. Here's the pro tip. Don't chug a giant glass of water all at once. That's a shock to your system. You need to sip water consistently throughout the day. I recommend 2 to 3 liters a day. Keep a glass by your chair, by your bed, and take a few sips every 15 minutes. The goal is to keep your urine a pale yellow. That indicates you are optimally hydrated for your inner ear. Set a timer on your phone. Every hour, take a few slow sips. It stabilizes your blood pressure too, which is another major contributor to dizziness. Number 6, beets. Number 6 is the vibrant red beet. You know, when you get up too quickly and the world spins, that is often a sign of low blood pressure or a lack of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a molecule that dilates your blood vessels. It allows blood to flow to your brain faster. When your brain is starved of oxygenated blood, it gets dizzy. This targets postural hypotension and poor cerebral blood flow. The active compound is nitrate. Boil your beets and eat them as a side salad with a little bit of vinegar. Or, even better, make a morning smoothie with a beetroot, an apple, and some ginger. I recommend half a medium-sized beet daily. Don't discard the green tops. The beet greens are packed with magnesium, which is a crucial mineral for nerve transmission. Chop them up and sauté them with some garlic. Number 5, walnuts. Number 5 is the walnut, nature's little brain. For balance, we often think about the limbs, but the real computer running the show is your cerebellum. This part of your brain is incredibly sensitive to oxidative stress. When you have high inflammation, the cerebellum doesn't fire as fast. This targets slow reaction times and impaired motor coordination. The active compound is omega-3 fatty acids and alpha-linolenic acid. A handful, about 6 to 8 walnut halves, every day. I like to put them on top of oatmeal, but they are also fantastic soaked overnight. Soaking them removes the bitter tannins and makes the nutrients more bioavailable. Avoid walnuts that smell like paint thinner. That means the fats have gone rancid. Buy them in the shell if you can, or store them in the freezer. Rancid fats are pro-inflammatory and will do more harm than good. Number 4, sardines. Number 4 is the small but mighty sardine. A lot of my patients over 60 have neuropathy. They have a tingling or numbness in their feet. If you can't feel the ground, your brain doesn't know where your feet are. It's like trying to walk with socks over your eyes. This targets peripheral neuropathy and nerve damage. The active compound is vitamin B12 and coenzyme Q10. I recommend a tin of sardines in water or olive oil twice a week. They are a powerhouse of B12, which is essential for the myelin sheath. The myelin sheath is the insulation around your nerves. When that degrades, the signals from your feet don't reach your brain. If you hate the taste of sardines, try mashing them up with some lemon juice and Dijon mustard to make a pâté. Spread it on a piece of celery or a cracker. You get all the benefits without the strong, fishy flavor. Number 3, eggs. Number 3 on the list is the common egg. However, I'm not talking about the white. I'm talking about the yolk. The yolk contains one of the most critical nutrients for your nervous system, choline. Choline is a precursor to acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter that sends signals from your brain to your muscles. This targets muscle weakness and lack of motor coordination. The active compound is choline and lutein. Eat 2 whole pasture-raised eggs daily. I recommend soft-boiled or poached so the yolk is still runny. Frying them at high heat oxidizes the cholesterol, which is what you want to avoid. The color of the yolk matters. A deep orange yolk has more carotenoids, specifically lutein. Lutein isn't just for your eyes. It also accumulates in your brain and improves processing speed. If you can't find pastured eggs, make sure they are organic and look for the darker yolk. Number 2, blueberries. Number 2 is the superfruit, the blueberry. We have a lot of oxidative stress in the brain as we age. This leads to plaques and tangles that slow down the frontal lobe, the part of your brain that plans the movement of your legs. This targets poor executive function in gait and cognitive decline. The active compound is anthocyanins, half a cup of fresh or frozen blueberries daily. This is powerful stuff. The anthocyanins cross the blood-brain barrier and are deposited directly into the hippocampus, which is responsible for memory and spatial navigation. When you buy blueberries, look for the ones that are dark and covered in a powdery film. That powdery film is yeast, and it indicates freshness. If you buy frozen, don't wash them before freezing. Wash them right before you eat them. Wash them with a little bit of water and apple cider vinegar to remove pesticides. Number 1, broccoli sprouts. And the number 1 fix for balance after 70? It's broccoli sprouts. They are small, they look like alfalfa sprouts, but they are the single most potent source of a compound called sulforaphane. This is the game changer. This targets neuroinflammation and the degradation of the cerebellum. The active compound is sulforaphane. Sulforaphane activates a pathway in your body called NRF2. Think of NRF2 as the cleanup crew for your cells. It sweeps away cellular waste and reduces inflammation in the brain. I recommend a handful of fresh broccoli sprouts daily on a sandwich or in a salad. Here is a life-changing tip. If you chew broccoli sprouts, you release an enzyme called myrosinase. Myrosinase converts the precursor compound into the active sulforaphane. However, myrosinase is killed by heat, so you can't cook them. But there's a hack. Add a little bit of mustard seed powder to the sprouts. Mustard seed powder contains myrosinase, so even if the sprouts aren't perfectly fresh, you still get the activation of the sulforaphane. Now, just knowing the foods isn't enough. You have to use them strategically. Here are the 3 rules of restoration to maximize your balance. Rule 1. Eat for protein at breakfast. Your muscle mass declines drastically after 70, leading to sarcopenia. Weaker muscles mean worse balance. Always start your day with protein, like those eggs we talked about, to stimulate muscle synthesis for the rest of the day. Rule 2. Eat your minerals. Magnesium and potassium are the spark plugs of the nervous system. To balance your salt-to-water ratio in your inner ear, you need potassium. Eat a banana or avocado daily. And to relax your nerves, you need magnesium. A handful of spinach or pumpkin seeds covers this perfectly. Rule 3. Stand on one leg. This is the exercise rule. While you brush your teeth in the morning, stand on one leg. Hold on to the counter if you need to. This isn't about strength. It's about stimulating those nerve pathways and telling your brain, we need to pay attention to our feet. It rebuilds the conversation between the eyes, ears, and feet. You know, when you look back at your life, you remember the walks on the beach, the games of catch with your grandkids, the long strolls through the market. You remember a time when walking was effortless. I believe you can have that again. It's not about turning back the clock. It's about nourishing the machine. You don't need to rely on a walker. You don't need to accept that this is just how it is. You need to feed your nervous system. You need to hydrate properly, and you need to give your brain the tools to fix the conversation. So, here is my comment bait question for you. What is the very first thing you'd want to see, do, or feel again if you had your steady, youthful stride back? Would you walk on a beach? Chase a grandkid in the park? Just go down the stairs without looking? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this valuable, don't keep it to yourself. If you know someone over 60 who is struggling with their balance, share this video with them. It might be the encouragement they need to start their journey back to confidence. And of course, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video in this series. We are fighting for your health, naturally. Take care of your legs and take care of your balance. After all, every step you take is a step towards a longer, more vibrant life. This is your health instructor signing off.